Hey guys, H-Lock here. Welcome back. Today we're going to go over an update that Simon, aka Hell Hades, put out on his channel as opposed to the normal Fateless channel. We're not really going to do a deep dive because he does put quite a bit in here. You could practically do an entire video on some of the stuff he reveals. So I'll just do some commentary. What I think, and comment down below what you guys are thinking.
Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be the Fateless update. Pretty much a...
So I'm pausing here real quick because I haven't asked before for people to subscribe, but I'm going to start doing that occasionally. Reason is content creator programs have some type of threshold you have to meet. I do not know what that'll be for this. It's typically about 1,000. I'm well below that. I don't know if they're going to do it for the beta either. I would think probably not until global launch. But I'm trying to hit that 1,000 mark. So if they do set up that sort of a barrier for entry, I'm at it. I will say they've been very kind so far, letting me in with no subscribers or very little essentially when I started. I think I have 12 or 13 now. So if you like my content, subscribe. If you don't like it, subscribe anyway so you can come back here and hate watch me. Just kidding. But yeah, please subscribe so I can try and hit that 1,000 member mark by global launch so that I can stay in this program and keep getting the updates ahead of time. Usually programs like that, they give you patch notes early, things of that nature, so you can kind of update the people that watch your channel, have a video ready. I'd like to stay on top of that kind of stuff, but obviously I'll have to react after the fact if I'm not in it, which will be okay. I'll keep persevering, but if you can help me stay in it, that'd be great. All right, back to the video.
quarterly update at this point. 3 months ago since I told you about the last thing. It's actually 14 months since I first did a video saying we are launching Fateless, and now our first game, Godforge, is well underway. I want to give you a general update. All 10 of our launch factions have now been released in terms of who they are and the type of heroes you're going to be able to collect from those. I'm going to go through each of those 10 factions, show you some of the hero art, 2D, 3D, and some of the environmental art that comes alongside it. We're basically in a position that all of our content for launch is now what's called feature locked.
I'm going to stop here because it says I'm about beta testing down there. Do make sure you sign up for the beta test. I have not made a video about it. JKG Brandon has. I will try to link to his video down below. If you don't see it down below, it's because I didn't unlock the feature yet. I'm not sure what I have to do. I think I have to send him a picture of my ID or make a video so they can see my face. I don't know, something, but I'll try to link it down below. If it's not down there, go check out his channel. He's personally to me been pretty helpful. The few questions I have asked him, he's been more than willing to share and help. So go give that guy a subscribe if you want to support somebody who's kind of helping out content creators learn the game. And again, that's JKG Brandon. Pretty sure it stands for Just Kidding Guys Brandon. It doesn't. I don't know what it stands for. Anyways, back to the video.
So we've developed the different designs for the different features we want to launch with. We've also got a kind of roadmap already of live ops drops of content that comes after that. All of this stuff is already being planned, coded, the math behind it's all being done. All of that stuff is now being basically developed based on our plans at Fateless, which is really cool. The whole design team are basically degenerates that love this style of game. Me included, Saf included. There's a whole bunch of us that basically design the game ground up because we understand this genre of game really well. Turn-based, hero collector, cool kind of like boss fights, almost some of that MMO feel to a mobile game. And yes, it will be mobile and PC on launch. But yeah, the design team absolutely get it. Okay, so rest assured that the features are going to be absolutely sweet. Still, though, if you've got ideas for how to make this style of game really cool, come and join the Discord. We have got over 20,000 people in the Fateless Discord, and we welcome the ideas. I read every single one. Some of those are literally going onto the backlog of live ops gameplay, stuff we're going to launch over time. So rest assured, we are listening and we are improving all the time. So as I said, we're on track to launch in summer 25, summer next year, with a beta coming up in probably March, end of February, around March. You can sign up to the beta right now. We've got over 20,000 people signed up to the beta already. They'll be on this website here, and you can come and get involved. And by the way, you can also come and support the game development by joining the Patreon here, where we've got over 600 members currently. Appreciate everybody who's already in the mix doing that. It literally...
I don't think they have announced how many people will be in the beta. So if you are interested, make sure you sign up, because it could be everyone. Who knows? Maybe, a giant beta. We don't know.
Pays for our community management team. Like, hands up. That's what it's doing. So really appreciate anybody who is in the mix with that. Now, in terms of like project, we're on track. So we launched the project in its entirety probably 18 months ago, but we started writing code about 14 months ago. We're on track to launch summer 25, which is awesome. We're in this kind of phase right now where we're working with strategic investors. So we did an initial investment round. That's basically how we've been able to build the project to where it is today. And we're moving into the strategic investment round, which we're doing right now. So the leadership team are heavily involved in that, basically to give us the scope to scale to the level that we want to with Fateless. And that's not just with Godforge, but with the vision of multiple games after that as like a full game studio. Now I've got
I haven't really talked about that at all, but that could be very interesting. Multiple games, even if it's, how would I say this, kind of based on Godforge. What if you're right, Godforge is the initial game, and then after that, there's some type of RTS game, maybe, kind of Warcraft-like. We're used to the opposite. You get the big IP, obviously Warcraft, World of Warcraft, and then Warcraft Rumble. But what if it's, opposite order here? What if Godforge is the initial, and then we get, I don't know, Godforge Legends or something, and that's an RTS game based on this IP?
I say this is the most challenging, most rewarding, most exciting, like awesome venture that I've ever taken on. And I've done some pretty cool stuff now. I've been very fortunate to be in this space, doing obviously the YouTube stuff, building out the HH Gaming brand. And this, for me, surpasses it, but it is tough. Like, it is way beyond what I ever dreamed it would be in terms of complexity to do this type of stuff. Now, you've got to say hats off to anyone in this space that has developed a good game. Or anyone who's developed
apparently
a
people
game,
still
honestly.
use Facebook. Okay.
So much that goes into it. It's insane. So I'm going to show you a whole bunch of the different assets, the artwork and that today. But there's way more that goes into it than what you're going to see today.
I mean, I did say apparently people still use Facebook, but I don't know how old Simon is. There's some gray there, so it could fit the demographic, right? What's the average age of a Facebook user is probably I don't know, much higher than it used to be. Not that I'm any youngin', but that is kind of funny, right?
Now, we're doing a cinematic, okay? That's going to be the opening experience for the game. It is like League of Legends, Valorant, Overwatch quality. That's the quality level we've hit. I'm in a meeting twice a week going through the different shots. We could spend 30 minutes talking about one shot in the cinematic because of the level of fidelity we're talking about, the feeling we want people to have. We've teamed up with Serena Bell, who's a phenomenal singer, who's producing a brand new track for our cinematic. We've then got another...
I don't know if you guys have gone and checked her out. She is a pretty good singer. It's going to be interesting to see what she does for this game. I just don't think I've played a mobile game that might have something of that quality before. So we'll wait and see though. But very excited about that as well.
Team doing parallax cutscenes. So at the end of a campaign kind of level, we're basically going to be telling you the story of what's going on in our world, where these kind of like heroes, myths, and legends all come together, these gods, why they're on the same plane, how they've come to be in the same space. And we've got the lore writer, it's basically one of the OG World of Warcraft writers when the game was sweet. He's doing all of our lore work, well, with us, with our input. So that's super sweet as well. The parallax scene is literally kicking off, and we've got a number of them lined up to keep that story going throughout the game. Talking story, anytime we do a big live ops event, it will come with a punch of story. Okay, we want that lore to be alive, and it will be an event. Yeah, we're thinking world bosses. We're thinking kind of like dropping dungeon mutations with basically something where it's like, damn, what's coming next?
The dungeon mutations. I didn't notice that in my first watch through. I don't know what that could be. Like, I don't know. Enemies have 2 times health or twice the attack, or attacking the enemy poisons you, something like that. Maybe. I don't know. Very interesting though. Did not notice that. That that excites me a lot, actually. I know I'm pretty monotone when I speak, but I'm genuine here when I say that could be very cool.
And that's the type of vibe we want with people playing Godforge. Okay, so we're going to launch with about 250 heroes. That's the plan. About 80 of them have already been built, and a number of the bosses have already been built as well. So we've got 10 different factions here, and they're all related to or connected to different mythologies in our world. But ultimately, it's our take on it, and we can do whatever we want. If down the future we want to create our own completely unheard of gods, we can do it. But for now, we're basically taking 10 different regions. So the Virage here is basically like a Slavic area, Romania, Slavic. So the Virage here is basically like a Slavic area, Romania, Slavic type of world. Aru is like our Egyptian
Barbarians.
theme. Avalon is kind of like the British Celtic type of vibe.
King
Sakaiba is
Arthur.
going to be more like the Aztec vibe. Svaga is like Indian, Hindu, that type of thing. Khajiiti's Japanese. Olympus is going to be your Greek,
The
which is probably,
gods.
those in the Aru are going to be some of the most well-known gods and legends. Jade is based on the kind of like Chinese style. Eka is like
I didn't notice that before they have. I already forgot how he said this. So they have one based on Chinese and Japanese. So they've strictly separated. Interesting. I know they are different and distinct cultures, but they called this Olympus. He said based on Greek, but we do know Roman and Greek has a lot of overlap, so I assume that's why they called it Olympus, even though Greek and Roman gods aren't strictly speaking the same. But I didn't notice that before, that they strictly separated it, didn't kind of just mix all Asian cultures in together. But I guess that's smart for long-term growth, right? Because these both have so much you could go off of to create different mythologies, gods, legends, whatever you want to call it.
Babylon type of area. And then Asgard is like your Norse. So each of them got their own identity and got their own faction of heroes.
Oh, I said barbarians for Slavic, but they could both actually kind of be barbarian-like, right? Because Asgard, you think the Norse people worshipping them. And then you think of that, I guess they're not technically barbarians, but the basic warrior, you'd think kind of the same type of basic warrior in these two. Not that in game they'll be the same. I'm just saying, like, think of a dude with braids in his beard and one long braid and a big old axe coming to your village ready to plunder.
Heroes. So some of our factions are more fleshed out than others. This is the Virage kind of like, I guess, theming for concept level. So you've got Baba Yaga here,
John Wick,
which is kind of like a well-known. I guess is it like a fairy tale? I'm not sure, but anyway, a well-known kind of lore from the Slavic world. the hut of Baba Yaga, a forest clearing in the middle, a rickety hut perched atop chicken legs and surrounded by a fence made of human bones. So you can kind of get the different theming here for what's coming in for the level design and the type of color scheme. So each of the different concepts in is going to have a different color scheme. Our style of combat is very much this kind of like cinematic.
We've seen
view,
this before,
which you might have seen. So if you come over and follow Fateless YouTube channel, we do a video every week showcasing the game, showcasing the development, and we also do a podcast talking about stuff gaming as well. So you should come and join that if you're interested in the project at all, where we show off more of the game, like the gameplay, that type of stuff. But yeah, we'll have this kind of, I guess, cinematic world so we can get right in close to the different concepts. So we don't have too many heroes in this faction fleshed out yet. We've got a lot of the concepting done, but this is Maria Morevna. It's going to be a warrior style for us, and you can see how the work
that's
is
a
done
review.
to understand
Warrior,
the cultures,
okay. Not a support.
the type of weaponry they might use based on lore, based on fragments of information we can get. Very cool, kind of like different visual style for what we're going for. Actually, this is very different to a number of our different factions right now. We have a lot more fleshed out for the Aru, though, the Egyptian faction. So you can see the kind of level designs here. Yeah, we still got the kind of like 3-wave approach in this level. We've also got this kind of reliquary or secret room area that you can go into if you can unlock it. So this is like a discovery.
Wait, did that say reliquary? And I have pronounced that wrong so many times. I thought it was heliquary with an H.
Secret room area.
Oh, it is R. Okay. Well, I'm proving that I'm pretty much illiterate. So it's reliquary, not heliquary, or eliquary, as I've also said.
That you can go into if you can unlock it. So this is like a discovery system within our game and different call outs to the Aru factions. And you can kind of see what that looks like when you're zoomed in.
That's some new
get a
concept
view.
art.
One of the more recent concepts that came
So
through
is that
here, which is the
looks
workshop
very
of
good.
Ptah.
What could that portal be there? Huh. I wonder if you can... The concept is to be able to go through that. And I don't know, maybe that takes you to the boss, or this is the stage before the boss and the boss stage is completely different. Maybe it teleports you inside the pyramid. That could be.
I think I'm saying that right, which is very sweet. I really like the color scheme here. Very, very cool level concept art, which will go into the next level of development. We've got some big hitters in this faction. So this is a close-up of Ra. You can see the level of quality of visual that's going into the workmanship. And this is kind of like almost like magma veins, which have been built in to his design. If we actually look at his original concepting, you can see what we're going for with Ra. Cool weaponry. It's kind of like smoldering feel to his skin as he's got the power of the sun running through his veins. He's literally
So I'm pretty sure they have shown this before, but not that character model before. But yeah, that was pretty good. I think he shows it again with some movement after this. So let's keep going.
Head in his skin while he's standing still. So Ra looking very sweet. We've also got some very cool, unique style visuals on heroes like the Sphinx here. We've gone for a female Sphinx, so different to what you might expect. Generally in lore, Sphinxes for Egyptian were female. Trying to remember where the male ones were from, but it was actually a different region. So got a very never-ending stories type of vibe.
That is not the first time he said that, and I do not know why. Because I think when most people think of never-ending story, they think of that big flying, I don't know, hair-covered dragon thing. There's actually something he shows later, which reminds me of Neverending Story much more than this. But you guys let me know down below. Does this make you think of Neverending Story? Or what I point out later in the video, does it make you think of the Neverending Story? Comment down below.
And the Sphinx is now being modeled into 3D as well, and it looks absolutely phenomenal. Anubis, who's looking very, very cool with his kind of
just
like
kidding.
big
The goat is now Merlin.
And we've got him in game with VFX popping off already. Kind of get a flavor of what that looks like. yeah, the Aru faction is really, really looking strong. And we take a look at some of the assets now made for the Avalon factions. This is
So
like
we've
that
seen
Celtic feel,
some
a
of
lot of
this.
greenery, very British, I guess, style with the kind of vibes, you know, lots of forestry, this kind of like Celtic vibe going on some of the statue work. And then we've got that then plays through in the level design as well, some of the concepting we've done. And again, it just kind of like gives you a feel for what the different environments will play and look like. Now, the Avalon is where you get.
Okay, so this is new. That's just a stage, but still. Let's see what we got here, you know. So they looks like they added light here and here. There it does look like you see wood burning. None there. I assume that's because you add the lighting effect, and then later they'll add like the wood burning. But yeah, a brazier there and there possibly. I like the look of that though.
Get the kind of like King Arthur lore, you know, Lady of the Lake, the Fisher King. This is the concepting that was done for the Fisher King.
So that's new. That looks pretty good, right? Look at those spears. I wonder if those are different concepts or he'll literally have multiple spears. Interesting. Very tanky looking unit though, right? What is that? Chalice there. I don't know. Huh. Interesting. Is interesting too. This would be the true size of the weapons. Huh. Okay. Spear is bigger than appears here. This would be an approximation of the size of the weapon. Not sure what they mean by that in terms of which way the reference goes. Interesting.
King, who is basically the, I'm not sure if it's a protector of the Grail or the one who found the Grail, but ultimately,
oh, there you go.
He's dead.
That's supposed to be the Holy Grail.
And yeah, looking very, very badass here. We have got Merlin. Merlin was one that I showed.
The new goat.
Just the other day. So real kind of like hard work gone on to do some of the call outs. You've got like the dragon wings here. We've got the toad on the weapon. Yeah, the sort of worm drake on the weapon as well with the Amethst kind of like base. Just very cool, like specific call outs to the different heroes we're doing. We've got Mordred here done in 3D, the Dark Knight. We've got someone, again, very different.
So that was new. Let me go back. Oop, 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 oop. How do I go fewer steps? Whatever, you're going to have to hear some audio over
kind
again.
Kind of like bass. Just very cool, like specific call outs to the different heroes we're doing. We've got Mordred.
There you go. Mordred, I'm not sure who that is. I think he said it's... Or no, he didn't say it. Somebody else said it's King Arthur's bastard son, I believe. You got, I don't know what this is. Eagle or a griffin. Okay. Digging that.
Mordred here done in 3D, the Dark Knight. We've got someone, again, very...
We did see this too a little bit. It wasn't a call out, but it was in the update video that was on the Fateless page as opposed to Hell Hades page. But yeah, like I said on that one, looks like a jester type. You even see it here with the scepter, but a murderous scepter.
Very different. Dagonet here, who again is kind of made now into 3D. He's got animations, but the kind of like jester turned knight, which King Arthur turned on. So yeah, really.
So knight is interesting. I wonder if they're just using knight in the sense that someone's in the knighthood and not knight like we typically think of a heavy armored unit. Because that's what I was thinking looking at Avalon so far. We have seen lots of heavy armored units, so very similar units. Obviously with 250 there will be a variety, but interesting so far that they are very similar type characters so far.
Really, really interesting faction. The Green Knights are kind of...
This was cool. This was reminding me of like a medieval Skeletor looking at that face. Or, and what the heck? There's somebody in a game. There's like 3 different games. I can't remember the name of it if you do down below that main character looks like this. There's two or three of them. It's a series. I don't remember what it's called. I even own one of them. Never played it yet. Bought it years ago. But I'm sure, like most of you listening, you see, game sales, the Steam Summer Sale, Black Friday, other sources, I don't mean pirating, I just can't think of like, different, what's it called? I can't even remember. Indie something or other, they sell like 20 games for $5 or something. So if you're like me, you have plenty of games you haven't played yet, unfortunately.
I like vibe for him. Really cool to see that the
Ooh,
heroes
that's a good
developed
looking
from
weapon.
initial 2D mock-ups to full 3D, and then with their weapon, and then with their animations. And let's not forget that we need a dragon as well. So call him YDG because his name's too hard to say. It's like Y Dragosh or something like that. It's a Welsh name, but you can kind of get a vibe once the dragon is animated.
Okay, that's a new top view. Yeah, look at the detail in that, man. Look at like a dragon that's lived for hundreds of years. Yeah. Oh, and the spikes. I don't know if I noticed that before. And the tail. They're two serious points of damage.
It's going to be very, very sweet to see. But yeah, Avalon faction is looking very, very cool. Kyber faction.
Seen
Again,
this.
very sweet level designs in the Kyber faction. We don't have that many heroes developed yet, but I'll show you a couple. But the level design feels very, very cool. And again, we've really gone into some detail around some of the call outs of the artwork,
Seen that,
the
seen that.
buildings, making sure that we get the right type of materials, the right type of feel for each of these different things.
Seen that.
We've pushed the limit, I think, on certain assets because we will be up close and in the mix for the combat. Yeah, here's another one here, the Temple of Kukukun, which again,
I think we've seen that before. Yeah, I think so.
because you're going to be up close and personal, you're basically going from one level to level as you're getting your way towards the boss. And yeah,
that's what I thought. Okay.
So this is pretty
Oh,
sure it's a common, the Eagle Archer here from that kind of like Aztec vibe. Again, already modeled. This is 3D in game. And then we've got a concept in here for Exolotl, I think is how you say it.
so this is interesting here too. Look at these, like it makes you think of fire or amber, but if you look here, it looks like it's actually his nail. So I don't know. Is it? And then you look at this too. Looks kind of like amber. That's what it makes me think of. So I don't know what those are supposed to be made of. This does not appear to be his skin. It appears to be something over his skin. Oh, maybe. Huh. Is he wearing this then? It's all part of it? Can't read that right there. Do I have the aspect? What's it on? It's on 720. God of lightning and fire associated with dogs, twins, sickness, and misfortune. Dog head with knife in his mouth. I don't see a knife. Okay. Replaced by fangs. Oh, there you go. Bold colors, sea image. I don't know what that is. Obviously, borrowed of his twin, Quetzalcoatl. Huh, okay. Spiral shell, jewel of the wind, axolotl, silhouette, feathers. Okay. So which one is this referring to? This maybe? Because this is this silhouette here. So they borrowed that from somewhere else. I think he's wearing that. And that's not his hand, which I initially thought because this is the same color as this. But that could be part of it too. But then here's the other part. This looks like his feet, right? Bigger feet in general. Claws do not touch the floor. So those are claws on his feet. Interesting. Because that looks like he's wearing it, and that looks like it's part of him. But then that makes that look like that's part of him. So I guess we'll have to wait and see too what they say about if the game launches with lore for the characters, like a little excerpt you can read about them.
But again, badass, honestly. This is kind of like, okay, well, front view, back view, side view. This is what we do for the 3D artists to be able to, do that kind of modeling work really well and make sure they get all the detailing that we want. Right, onto the Svarga. This is the only faction where we don't actually have a
Svaga.
hero yet because I don't know. They've got
I don't know what he's called, but they gotta have that elephant god with like a bunch of arms, right? Because he's gonna be rampaging all over. He's gonna be a great character for this faction. I don't know what kind of crazy skills you could do with multiple arms, and he has a giant elephant head with tusks. Like, I don't know, a tank rogue of some sort, because he can throw knives and he's an elephant. I don't know. I'm just guessing.
to be more complex. Forearm stuff is just harder to animate. We're basically working our way up to this, but we've done a bunch of the sort of level concepting here. Again, making sure we got the right type
I
of
think
call
that's
outs.
new.
I mean, the color schemes and the
That's
concepting
definitely
feels
new.
sweet to me, but yeah, it's just early days on the Svarga. Compare that to Kajiki, where we are
So I believe we've seen this character. They've shown the running animation. They use this as an example, but I don't think we've seen this model in game yet. Looks good though. And it appears to be, rare or lower, so very high quality, lower tiered characters as well.
well on our way, honestly, to some awesome stuff. So again, we can kind of look at some of the call outs for our level
Okay.
designs and trying to make sure that we keep the right type of visual feel,
Ooh, I like that tree.
type of courtyard, how people will be in the mix,
The
and how that looks
dojo.
from like a gameplay type of vibe. And you can see some of the environments now bought.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. Here we go. Why would they put this out here though? Like, interesting. You would think they'd run it like that. But maybe you'll be able to see it as you run up, walk up, but 3 clear stages, so that's pretty clear. Okay.
Into 3D in engine. We've got kind of like this volcanic
Seen that
environment
before.
where you
Great
will see
lighting
kind of running
effects.
lava going on. We've got the courtyard here for the dojo, probably a boss arena type of vibe. Got the moonlight coming in when the technical artists get to play with what's going on. We do have heroes like Musashi already built,
I
already developed in
believe
3D,
he's an
fully
epic
animated.
based on his
So yeah,
portrait.
this is going to be probably one of my favorite factions, honestly, because there's just so much kind of like cool lore, cool artwork, and yeah, cool heroes in this one. So for the Olympus faction, we're gonna get that kind of
Oh,
real feel of the columns, the statues, that type of regal feel. Yes, we're in the Midas Palace here, which is gonna be one of our boss locations.
so I was thinking about this when I watched it when he said in the Midas Palace boss location. So Midas possibly a boss or a character. Does that mean he'll have a Midas touch and you know what would that fall under? Would that be a petrify? Would they keep it? Obviously, it would be cool if they just use a mechanic they already have that's existing, whatever they call it, immobilize, petrify, something. But when Midas does it, you turn gold, as opposed to other characters who have a control skill that falls under the same skill, but they don't turn people gold. That'd be cool. We'll see if they can do something like that. I don't know how difficult that is to do programming wise.
The big hitters, the Leonidases, Artemis, the Hercs, like very, very cool heroes in this faction. We do have a couple which are being like fully fleshed out. I don't know, comment down below. Do you know which one this one is? Onto the J.
Go back real quick.
Fleshed out. I don't know, comment down below.
So my guess is this is Hades, king or lord of the underworld, especially because if you look down here, 3 dog heads makes me think Cerberus, who was the hound who guarded the gates to Hades, I believe. So that's my guess. Wait, he's Hades. What the hell? Is the god called Hades or is the underworld called Hades? Maybe he just guards the gate to the underworld and they call it something else. But either way, I think he's Hades, I believe, is the name of the god of the underworld. Let me know what you guys think down below.
Oh, do you know which one this one is? Onto the Jade, which is like the Chinese themed. We've got the Great Wall type of area concepting out. Some of the
Ooh,
some
terracotta
of the cool
warriors.
statues here are really sweet, actually. Again, really, really love this type of visual. Check this out as a
That's
concept for
new.
level art. Really great. And then we've got
Okay, this is what I was saying. This, every time I see this, never ending story. Every single time. Yeah, he's not white and furry, but this part and this part, never ending story. That's what I think. So whenever Simon says, the Sphinx makes you think a never ending story, this makes me think of it. But you guys tell me down below which one makes you think of it.
heroes that are already made. So Zulong is done. Pangu, who
Seeing
is
this?
going to be one of the legendaries here with the axe, which was the world splitter. I think this was called. Basically created yin and yang, which is the kind of theming of the axe. Super sweet concept on this one. We've got Yan Wang already created.
That's
with his
new.
kind of basically his
Creepy
eyes
ass helmet
in
there.
his hat.
Oh, hat.
No,
Okay.
it's kind of like the Overlord of Death or something like that for the Chinese factions.
There you
Very, very
go.
sweet. And that was based off of this type of concept in here.
Ooh,
Really cool. So
that's new.
really different
What
aesthetics
in the
based on
hell? Hold on. What is this? This looks like somebody's intestines or something. And then that's supposed to be the rope? Or is he supposed to have someone's intestines, like, as a belt or something? Because, see, this looks like rope, but this doesn't look like rope to me. I don't know. Maybe that's a Reddit R confusing perspective. That looks like intestines to me. I guess we'll have to wait and find out.
the concept in here. Really cool. So really different aesthetics based on the different factions we're in. With two factions to go then. So we've got the Echo here with
Waterfall
like
Tower, okay.
Babylon, some Materian type of vibe. Again, you've got the Ishtar Gate, you know, the aqueduct sort of feel. This then like lends itself to some in-game assets that we've already got that we're working through. We've got hero.
That was new, the screen before this, but I was going to comment here, and we were looking at that other guy with the weird eyes helmet. So he's related to Death, who I thought that other character was. Hades is related to Death. He's going to say this guy's related to Sun. Ra, he showed earlier, is related to Sun. It's starting to make me think, are they going to have some type of, not a companion skill, but if you get a full squad of, let's say, similar characters like sun gods or death gods, are you going to get some type of bonus? You know, I don't know what that'd be. Attack up, speed up, something like that. Just an idea, because we already know we're going to have, in terms of not skills, but what the gods do for their respective factions slash mythologies. So that was just a thought I had, you know. I think he's talked about too. He's talked about different gods of the sea. So same thing, you know, if you have 4 gods of the sea for the different factions, are you going to get some type of bonus there? Just a little thought I had.
Heroes like Shamash, who is a sun god for this faction, and he has already been made.
This is
in
new.
3D for us, and
Look at that.
it's currently
He's
being animated.
Sun is
as well.
bleeding
So
through,
Shamash
trying to escape.
is looking super sweet, giving his fiery glare, which leads us honestly to Asgard as the final faction to talk about. And I think the concepting for the level designs for Asgard is awesome. It's really, really well done.
The
I love the
Bifrost, it looks
visuals.
like.
I love the color schemes. Again, some of these 3D assets, or most of the 3D assets, are actually already made for what we're seeing here. Got a massive hammer here. And I guess this is going to be the big reveal, because this hero was finished yesterday. Which
Okay,
is our
I think
version
we've
of
seen
Freya.
that.
And honestly, I'm
Okay,
so
this is
pleased
new.
with the final visual.
Yeah, that's
So good. Really, really
Oh, look
well
at her.
done.
Some type of jewel there. Okay. Similar to what's on her belt. Yeah, this is a very different take on Freya, so I don't know what this character is going to do, but it's going to be powerful, I'm going to guess.
Texture on the wings, texture on the armor. Such a cool visual of Freya here. You kind of see the different elements. Vidar, who's going to be one of the kind of like the warriors.
Oh my gosh. That kind of makes me think of man, what the heck? was it the Dragonborn for the last Elder Scrolls, you know, when you're doing your shouts? Remember the original trailers way back in the day where it looked like when he was doing his little power up stuff, his eyes would glow like that? That's what that kind of makes me think of, but a beefed up newer version. I like that helmet too with the antlers. I wonder if those are supposed to be antlers or cast. They appear to be actual antlers, and then the helmet on the head part is metal. What I can see of the sword looks pretty good. Looks kind of like a skinnier version of the Green Knight sword, you know, that kind of big old hack and slash sword, not the precision type sword.
We've got Beowulf, who
Seeing
kind of like
that.
concepted out and then made into 3D here. There's been some videos about him as well from other content creators that are covering Godforge. This is another new one that's just come through as well as a concept, which is Ran. She's
Okay, that's new. So just two different colorations. Not sure what Rand does. But this is what I was saying too, when there's so much being revealed here. You could just make a video on Rand or the Green Knight or that other weird Chinese god. I think it was Chinese that had the eyes and the helmet, you know. You could do a video on all those, so there's a lot in here.
he's kind of like connected to the water, to the sea, I guess. Very cool. So yeah, I mean, hopefully that gives you a good flavor of where we're at, what we're doing. As I say, we're still on track. We can't wait to get people playtesting this in our beta. Make sure you come and sign up. And yeah, I will keep you updated probably in about another 3 months when we do the next big reveal. So there you go. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you soon.
All right, so that's it. Let me know down below what you guys think, what you think your favorite faction is going to be. Mine, it's probably going to be Avalon, you know. I'm loving Merlin, not even seeing him in game yet. Another reason it's going to be my favorite is because I was playing, I don't know if it was the alpha, the beta, whatever it was, a King Arthur's Legend Rise. And like I said in another video, they've gone what it seems like radio silent, so who knows what's going on with that game. If you played that beta and you need that itch scratched, Godforge could be it, man. In a few months, you could get that King Arthur Merlin itch going, you know. You could just role play as Avalon all day long. So let me know down below what your guys' favorite faction's going to be. And again, if you like what I'm doing here, throw me a subscribe, you know, trying to get that subscriber count up so I can stay in this program once the game does launch. And thanks for watching. This has been HLock. See you later.